A Canadian mining company is a step closer to starting work on a controversial project in the deep sea off Papua New Guinea. The ambitious plan involves ploughing the seafloor for copper and gold, and it's hailed as the first of its kind in the world. The mining company Nautilus and the PNG government are expected to reap millions of dollars from the project, but environmentalists say the mine will wipe out a unique ecosystem that's still not fully understood. Jason Wong has this special report.
Deep beneath the ocean, this rocky ecosystem is a treasure trove of marine life and minerals. It's a landscape of smoking chimneys built up by thousands of years of volcanic activity.
It's remarkable systems. Some biologists think that life on Earth began at these deep-sea hydrothermal vents 3.5 billion years ago.
The Solwara 1 project in northeast Papua New Guinea is finally going ahead after a lengthy dispute between PNG and Nautilus Minerals was resolved. The PNG government has a 15% interest in the mine, committing $120 million. The total worth of the deposit is undisclosed.
So this is a cross-section through one of those chimneys, very rich in copper sulphide.
Dr. Joanna Parr was part of the international team that discovered Solwara 1 in 1996. She says the mineral deposits in the undersea vents are far richer than those found on land.
If you look at an individual chimney, they're very rich because there's nothing else there. There's no dilution factor from the rocks around it. So if you look at an individual chimney, which is particularly rich, it can run 25% copper and it can run 10 grams per tonne gold. And if you compare that to a land-based deposit, that's very good. It's a really excellent deposit.
And compared to mining on land, it's easy picking.
But certainly there's no digging required to get to them.
Just scoop them up.
Yep.
Remote-controlled machines will be sent 1,600 metres down to mine the sea floor. And the ore, pumped back up to a ship, will be sent to China for smelting. Nautilus, backed by shareholders including Anglo-American, expects to mine up to 1.6 million tonnes a year.
The Solwara 1 deposit alone is worth a lot of money. The scale of resources on the seafloor is quite enormous.
What the Nautilus animations don't show is the impact on marine life, such as snails, shrimp and crabs. The company's environmental impact statement explains that wastewater containing elevated concentrations of metals and sediments will be pumped back down close to the sea floor, causing a plume. The plan has angered a local NGO, which has launched a campaign against the mine.
These companies want to rip up and pollute the ocean on your doorstep.
One of the project's most vocal critics lives half a world away in Anchorage. Former marine biologist with the University of Alaska, Rick Steiner, reviewed the company's environmental impact statement for a group of Indigenous people in PNG and found it lacking.
We expect that there will be species extinctions caused by this project, and I think ethically and morally we have to draw a line in the sand at this point in human development, saying no to any project that we expect to cause species extinctions.
And he's sceptical about the company's promise to save some seafloor animals by relocating whole clumps of rock.
There's a lot of Alice in Wonderland kind of magical thinking involved in all this.
It's a process even the company is not entirely sure will work.
It's sort of like if they're going to clear-cut a forest, would it be worth trying to save a few trees and taking them elsewhere and replanting them and seeing if they will survive? It's worth a try. I think the chances of it succeeding are relatively small.
There is a lot unknown about the interactions of the various species with each other, how the life cycle and how they how the synergies go between the different species, how they work together. Yeah, there's a huge amount that we don't know about these environments.
At the company's office in Brisbane, Chief Executive Mike Johnston maintains the already volatile seafloor system will restore itself within several years, long after the mining is complete. He says Nautilus has gone further than most companies in trying to protect the environment.
The Solwara 1 system is probably the most studied system on the planet. You know, we know more about Solwara 1 than you probably know about your living room.
Some of them are glistening there, as you can
see that.
So it's quite shiny there.
Yeah.
Ray Binns is another geologist at the CSIRO who discovered Solwara 1 and previously worked as a consultant for Nautilus. He says the volatile nature of the system means the thermal vents will eventually reform.
The mining's undoubtedly going to kill some animals. That will be a limited loss, and the population as a whole will survive.
So no species extinction, for example?
I doubt that.
For Nautilus, Solwara 1 is just the beginning. The mine's success will shape the future of its plans in the Pacific.
Countries like Tonga and Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Fiji, where we've got licences, they have limited potential on land. So seafloor mining offers them the opportunity to develop a solid mining industry which has a low environmental impact but produces a high-value product which can generate significant returns.
If the Nautilus project succeeds, or even if it fails and they can identify where the failures are, it will unleash a stampede to the deep sea.
Work at Solwara 1 will begin in 2 years. Jason Om, Late Line.